Hey, everyone. It is a little odd being up here, isn't it? After listening to everybody, now I'm up here. So, I'm Elizabeth Mauro. I'm a freelance art installer. And through my business, art installation, I've been fortunate enough to work on the prep crew for most of the major museums in the Puget Sound over the years. I have also literally installed tons of art in hospitals, hotels, retirement homes, and various other corporate spaces throughout the region. In private homes, I regularly hang art in stairwells, using scaffolding and extension ladders. I operate scissor lifts to suspend art weighing hundreds of pounds from the ceiling. I mount art onto concrete using a hammer drill, and I transport entire collections of art in huge rented trucks. In the last 30 years, I have completed over 1,200 installations. And as I stand here before you today, I have a dirty secret to confess. Up until 3 years ago, I was afraid of the chop saw. I would say anything to avoid having to go out to the shop and cut something. Vince, I thought maybe we could cut a little 3-inch wide block to prop this ceramic plate away from the wall. What do you think? And then I would just hold my breath and pray that he would offer to go do it for me. Or, hey, Ken, how about I tie monofilament onto the hundreds of glass test tubes in this box while you go and cut a cleat for that painting over there? For years, I tried to hide my shop terror from my colleagues. All that changed when I took a woodshop workshop. Not only did I learn how to use the chop saw, but I practiced ripping wood on the table saw, I cut a swirly curve on the bandsaw, and I wielded the circular saw. It was a true game changer for me. About 5 months after my grand awakening, I was installing the Glass-tastic exhibit at the Bellevue Arts Museum. It was a juried biennial exhibit featuring emerging Northwest artists working in glass. I had to mount 2 sets of glass teeth onto the wall. They looked like those molds that the dentist makes of how crappy your teeth are when you're a teenager and you need braces. These teeth were kind of heavy, and they had just a tiny little 1/2-inch screw sticking out of the back, which was barely going to go into the drywall. The exhibit designer came over, took one look at those teeth, and said, "Oh, geez, Elizabeth, how are you going to mount those?" I told him that I was going to cut a piece of dowel rod and insert it deep into the wall so that it reached the plywood backing board, and then I was going to screw the teeth into that. He said, "Okay, sounds good," and he walked off. And you know what happened next? I went down to the shop, and I cut that dowel like nobody's business. I went back upstairs, shoved that dowel into the wall, screwed those teeth in, and I did it all by myself. Now that, my friends, is what empowerment looks like. I prepared this talk to highlight the dramatic results that can come about when women are given access to the skills that help us thrive in our jobs as exhibit techs. Ours is a field that requires using power tools and lifting heavy stuff, and as such, it has traditionally been dominated by men. Whenever I get together with other women art handlers, we laugh over crazy installation stories and compare notes on tool brands. After we've shared our best tech tips, the conversation often turns to the latest instance in which we have each been unconsciously dismissed by others on the crew. We like these guys, they're our friends, and yet sometimes we find ourselves discouraged at the end of the day. My hope in giving this presentation is to light a spark, to inspire all the women here to go for it. Ask for the training that you need to excel in your job. Challenge yourselves to try something new. Get together with your female peers and support one another. I encourage everyone here to think about the subtle ways in which your female colleague might not be getting the same opportunities. Instead of having her cut labels, consider taking her up on the lift and teaching her how to rig up that big-ass chainsaw chandelier. She can do it. She just needs to be given the chance. For anyone who is interested, here are some organizations that provide information for women art handlers and other underrepresented folks in our field. They're all doing great work. Thanks.